Matthew Schmidt is with us. He is the director of Total Freedom and the website basicincomeforall.com. Matthew, welcome to the program.
Hi, Tom. Thanks for having me.
Hi. Oh, and Lila's with you, too. Hey,
Hi.
Lila.
I'm surprised.
Lila Connors, the people who basically brought you the three DiCaprio videos that we've done and the 11th Hour and a bunch of other great stuff. So Matthew and Lila, you guys are working on a new project, this basicincomeforall.com website and this new movie about basic income for all. Tell us about it.
Well, Matthew's been taking the lead on our end on this project. From my point of view, I was astonished to find out that for several hundred years, there's been a conversation around giving people a basic income, which is a check every month that supports basic needs in order to liberate people's participation in the economy and allowing them to get away from the worry of basic survival. And people have been talking about it as a basic right, a human right, that if you cannot basically feed and house yourself, then therefore your rights are not being met. And given the state of our economies and the wealth that exists in our economies, we actually can pay for this, and therefore...
Whoop. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Poverty, inequality, and things like that. So for me, when Matthew brought this to Tree Media, I jumped on it and I said, this is absolutely the next project we need to do, because it seems from all across the political spectrum, right to left, a very intriguing idea that may actually solve a lot of our problems that we're seeing today.
So the essence of this, Matthew, is that everybody in America gets somewhere between $20,000 and $35,000 a year, basically, just for being a citizen?
Yeah, it would have to be determined how much, but the key factor is that it needs to meet the basic needs. So anything under that really doesn't make sense, because it still keeps people in the need to cover their existence, and that should be taken care of by the basic income. Right. So it can be determined what that is in the United States. In Switzerland, they pegged it at compared in dollars at $2,800 for an adult
per month.
Per month.
Right. So that's a little over $30,000 a year in Switzerland. They're looking at. Now, the inevitable objection to this, particularly from conservatives, but I think probably for many people, is going to be, wait a minute, if people have $30,000 a year, which is enough to live on, for not working, who's going to go to work?
Well, that's an interesting thing that we believe it's a I think this brings up a discussion about what the human being is and what we do as humans, and work is actually something that people do regardless of pay, in the sense that we need to split apart income and work. Work is biography, and therefore, if we have our basic needs met, the creativity may be unleashed. I mean, how many people out there are doing something that they don't really want to do, but if they had their basic needs met, they might take a risk in creating something that may yet be, an invention or pursuing their life's work that they haven't yet been able to find because they had to cover their basic needs.
So you're saying this would provide a basis for an explosion of creativity in our society?
Precisely.
Yes, I think not just explode creativity. I think the creativity will actually make it to the marketplace, make it into the shops, make it into the service industry, and the boom is unforeseen. I mean, if somebody is a carpenter and has an idea for a small device that he thinks would be great for children to have, and he or she is going to be encouraged to try that out and bring it to the market.
Yeah.
And that can become then another
source of income for
exactly.
them. And the other thing is it's basic income. And so humans, as we see, like to accumulate wealth often. And so this is not just, you can still work. So you can still add to that income. This is just basically taking care of basic needs. And again, some of the entitlement programs that may not be working as well may go away because of that. So we might be saving money on entitlements. We're not saying in our film that's what we're exploring. We're not getting rid of all entitlements, but we can relook at what is necessary at this point in terms of creating social safety nets and maybe reallocate the money in a more dignified way to people rather than put them through many hoops that I know exist right now.
Yeah, we're talking with Lila Connors and Matthew Schmid, the producer and director of Total Freedom. You can find out all about it at their website, basicincomeforall.com, and working to produce a major motion picture, a major documentary rather, on I guess would be the correct way to say it, on this topic, which I think is just such a noble thing. And another question for you all. People are going to say, but people won't work, and I think you've got the answer to that. People are also going to say, but who's going to pay for it?
Well, there's many ways to pay for it. Some places, like you've mentioned before, Alaska has a resource fund. We could do things like tax carbon and move some of that to households. We can look at consumption taxes. We can look at putting a small wealth tax in. There are many ways to address it. I think that most people that talk about this know that the wealth is in the system. It's just it'll be a very lively discussion how to pay for it. We know we can pay for it. And Tom, I want to mention one other thing. Environmentally, this is also a huge benefit to the environment because people who are dealing with issues of poverty can't prioritize the environment. And once these basic needs are met, we can advance social agendas. Things like the environment can become more central to what we need to take care of. So in terms of creating a long-term sustainable society that addresses inequality, poverty, environmental issues, basic income may be our only hope to do that.
Wow. That's an extraordinary statement, but I think that there's a lot of truth to it. I mean, we're doing a basic income of sorts in the United States right now. You've got the child tax credit, you've got the earned income credit, you've got, food stamps, and I mean, all these things add up to a basic income of a couple $1,000s a year, but let's make it real. Matthew Schmid, Lila Connors, we're out of time, but thank you so much for being with us. The website is basicincomeforall.com. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Tom, very much.
Keep up the great work. It really and truly is great work that you're doing. Basic Income for All. Check it out.